It's really come to this, so yeah, I guess I'll talk about it. Star Wars fans are calling for the firing of Dave Filoni. After all this time of begging for them to put him in a position of power, you now get it, and you hate it. Before we get further along into this, let me say, I get it. If people hate what he's doing with Star Wars and no longer want him to have any position of power or anything with Star Wars, because they hated what he did with Ahsoka, and ever since Ahsoka ended, we've seen a rising tide of people jumping on the Ahsoka is bad train. I get it. If you're not a fan of him, and he got hired and he didn't do what you thought was being promised to you when he gets promoted, aka he goes in there, he cancels everything, he retcons the sequels, and then he makes the proper sequels with Darth Talon or whatever, yeah, you're probably pissed. On the other hand, there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, sweet, Dave Filoni, cool. He's going to oversee everything so things can connect more like the MCU. That's great. I get that there's people on both sides. But calling for him to be fired where he actively, in this position, hasn't done anything yet. We haven't seen how he's going to, bounce off of Kathleen and what they're going to do with the next couple projects. Remember, he just got to this position, so now the next wave of all these projects, he's going to be more hands-on. Let's not condemn the man because people didn't like that Ahsoka crossed her hands too many times and talked down to the man in the series or whatever, right? Like, that's kind of stupid to me. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Ahsoka is a different series than you thought it was going to be. Dave Filoni is doing things a different way, and the series he's been involved with, in terms of Star Wars, are of course the upcoming Skeleton Crew, where he was the executive producer, Ahsoka, he directed and written. He, let's not forget, directed, wrote, and executive produced all of Boba Fett. He was hands-on, and when other people were directing it, he was right there to guide them. The Mandalorian, he's had the same, position. I mean, he's kind of gone up, right? And you look at some of the other things he's been involved with, there's plenty of projects here. So, I don't understand why people are calling for him to be fired after this latest thing, where, as far as I'm remembering, I remember a lot of backlash against Book of Boba Fett. And I think it's kind of insane to now be calling for him to be fired and arguing with people that he's not what you were promised. He never promised to fire Kathleen or botch everything up and cut it up and throw it away. Like, I don't understand where people got that from. Like, where? Is it from the same people that are reporting that Filoni was going to come back and instantly rehire Gina Carano and greenlight the Rangers of the Republic again? Like, they were just grifting you, so don't be mad at false reports.